Okay, what are we reviewing this week? Little Bear. Oh, I remember this show. Since I was born in 2009, I haven't seen much of the 90s Nick Jr. shows. But Little Bear did air reruns when I was a child, so. What do you mean this is not the show you were talking about? Little Brown Bear. What? How did they not get sued? Their names sound so familiar. Oh, it was made in France. Huh, I guess that makes sense. You know, I haven't actually seen Little Brown Bear. Hold on, let me watch a few episodes real quick. Wow, I can see why this show is so hated. So, this one was a long time coming, wasn't it? I was originally gonna do part 2 of the PJ Masks Season 6 review, but then I saw this little cartoon trending on social media called The Adventures of Little Brown Bear, and I knew I had to talk about it. In fact, I'm surprised there aren't already 1 million comments telling me to review this show. Little Brown Bear gets a lot of hate, with some people calling it worse than Caillou. Now, if you guys remember, in the top 5 most hated preschool shows video, I defended most of the shows on that list. Dora the Explorer is a childhood classic, Peppa Pig is surprisingly tolerable for some reason, and Caillou is just so bad it's good. Now, is there anything I can say to defend this show? I'm just gonna say it right now. This show is absolute garbage. Like, it is terrible. It's not like Paw Patrol or Cocomelon Lane where it's just boring bad, no. This show is freaking awful. From the animation, to the characters, to the messages. Dear God, I don't usually say this. But this show is a terrible influence on kids. So, without further ado, let's tear this show apart. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Little Bear. Oh, sorry, I mean, Little Brown Bear. Jesus, why are their names so similar? Heck, they even call him Little Bear in the show.
What's going on here, Little Bear?
They are so lucky this show was made in France. If it was made in Canada, Nelvana would be lining up their lawyers. But anyways, Little Brown Bear has to be one of, if not the most unlikable preschool show protagonist I've ever seen. If you think Caillou is bad, just look at what this kid does.
No, I don't want to go home. I want a cake.
That's enough. I'm going home.
And his mom is no better. Not only doesn't she even bother to discipline her son when he misbehaves, but she outright leaves him at the bakery by himself, where he can get easily kidnapped. I know he was throwing a tantrum, but you can't just leave your, 4-year-old son to fend for himself. I should be teaching this stuff to a 5-year-old, not a professional team of writers making a kids show. What were they thinking? Oh, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. In another episode, Little Brown throws a temper tantrum over not wanting to take his boots off, and then, this happens.
No, I don't want to get changed. I don't want to take my boots off.
Now listen, that is enough.
You're so horrible. Really horrible.
No, you're the one who's horrible. Now calm down, Little Bear.
Wow. Just wow. I don't even know what to say to that. And trust me, I could keep going. But if I were to name every terrible thing this little brat did, we'd be here all day, so I'll end it at that. For a preschool show, this show has a really mean-spirited tone to it. So many episodes revolve around Little Brown Bear treating everyone around him like absolute garbage. Even his best friend who, get this, is named Little White Bear. Wow, I don't even know how to respond to that. But yeah, this show's tone is surprisingly toxic, and they try to hide it with this sappy theme song.
Clap your hands and come and play. Little brown bear. Jump around, what do you say? Little brown bear. Little bear. Little brown bear.
Give Caillou some credit. Even if he never really got punished for his bad behavior, at least there's some sort of message there. A very poorly delivered message, but you can still tell the writers had good intentions. Here, it feels like they skipped that entirely. This show is practically encouraging Little Brown Bear's bad behavior, and it's not even subtle about it. Wait a minute, watching this show made me realize something. You know how I always complain about modern preschool show characters being extremely bland? Well, I think I know why. Shows like this, Caillou, and Peppa Pig are universally despised for one reason. Their main characters. Peppa Pig constantly fat shames her dad, Caillou throws temper tantrums all the time and hardly ever learns from his mistakes, and Little Brown Bear is, well, Little Brown Bear. Because of their main characters' behavior, these shows received a lot of controversy among parents. Sure, Peppa Pig is still going strong to this day, somehow, but you can't deny, it's a pretty mixed show. My theory is, because these shows were so hated, many writers were afraid to make their characters flawed because they might be a bad influence on kids, so they have to make their protagonists these bland little angels who are almost incapable of doing anything wrong. I think that sucks. Let's face it, kids are not perfect. They can be bratty, they can be annoying, they can be all sorts of things. There are ways to portray these behaviors in a way that's both realistic and positive, and some shows really nail this balance. Take Bluey or Arthur, for example. Both shows do a fantastic job of showing kids as they are. Sometimes messy, sometimes emotional, but still learning and growing. They portray children's real-life struggles and flaws without making the characters either bland or totally unlikable. Overall, The Adventures of Little Brown Bear is a complete disaster. With its mean-spirited tone, frustratingly unlikable main character, and the baffling lack of positive messaging, it's hard to find anything redeeming here. While flawed protagonists can be a great tool to show kids valuable lessons, this show just misses the mark entirely. Watching Little Brown Bear almost makes you appreciate the more thoughtful approach some modern shows take, even if they lean a bit too far in the perfect child direction. At the end of the day, a good preschool show should engage young viewers, model positive behaviors, and, most importantly, respect its audience. Little Brown Bear just doesn't do any of that. I recommend you keep yourself, and especially young kids, far away from this show. Anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think of this show in the comments. And until next time, party on.